Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Aurora 4X C#. Let me get my timer up and ready to go. So, no time skip this time. We are currently waiting for our fleet, more accurately, to arrive back at Earth so that it can resupply its ordnance. Same with our Quailers. But I think this next campaign that we'll be doing may or may not happen this part. It depends a little bit on exactly if we need to wait a bit longer to get our missiles, basically. Because we need quite a few. As a reminder, our Coilers that carry these things are able to carry 480 each of the size 8 missiles, and we have 700 of our current iteration. So, yeah, we might need to wait a little bit, or I send the Coilers out a little bit later, which is an option, and I think we might exercise that option. But first things first, again, just gotta wait. We could build, obviously, more ordnance factories on Earth as well. That'll help. At least, you know, to a degree. To, well, you know, speed that up a bit. But, yeah, it's a bit slow to build ordnance. And we could research some stuff. Okay. Ran into a Tekka, which means change of plans, engage, 200,000 kilometers. Give me sensors and weapons. We are about 3 hours out. I could probably do an hour increment. Okay, of course we update our thermal information on it, and that of course results in a 10-minute increment instead of the 1 hour that I tried to do. And now it's not really worth trying to do 1 hour increments, so we're not going to do those. Let's see, our heavy cruisers need to get some training. So let's go ahead, assign to fleet, open fire. Once they are within range. Why are you at... Okay, 1 second. Fleet sync fire off, off, off. I don't know why some of you guys were on, because you shouldn't be. Okay, yeah. Thank you, NVIDIA, for letting me know that there's a new driver available. I really don't need a pop-up for that, if I'm being completely honest. Okay, make sure that nobody else has targets, because you don't need targets. There's absolutely zero reason for anybody else to have still had a target, but okay, there we go. Two-minute increments. There we go. And just... did we destroy it? Okay, sure. Game. Not quite sure what happened there. I swear it didn't say we destroyed it. Oh, no, it did. Okay. There we go. Just missed it because it wasn't the damage report listing saying it was destroyed. Was it technically destroyed by the secondary power system explosion then? I don't know. Because it's just a weird way of labeling it. But okay, no, we destroyed it. Never mind then. Fleet cease fire. Hide that information because I no longer need to see it right now. And continue making your way back home so you can get your missiles. We have some extras being built that will assist you in future campaigns. Why do I have 701 ordnance? Because apparently I have 701 ordnance factories. Why do I have an odd number? Now, game, you're going to make me build 99 because I don't know where the hell I got the extra 1. But okay. But yeah, we could theoretically, I say theoretically, we could research under, I thought it was under logistics. Are we researching it right now? Oh, we're researching it right now. That would explain it. And it's actually under missiles / kinetic weapons. More ordnance production, 35 build points as opposed to whatever the hell we're on right now. 30. Which will help speed things up, but this is not due to be done until July of 2168. So that's a ways out. And that is with not actually the best person, technically speaking. You are a 20% bonus. I have a 40% bonus with Elizabeth. Which gets it to March of, I don't know what year, but it's probably not 2167. Probably. Considering that it's October right now and we still have at least a year. So yeah, no, it moves it to March of 2168. Which still speeds things up quite a bit. Does leave me with 4 extra labs that are available for anything else, and we're going to go for the ground forces, and then that still leaves us with 1 extra that will dump into the research rate. Part of the one thing I forgot to completely go over last time, actually, now that I realize, is these guys are expensive to build at 9,100 build points to build a single orbital defense team with our current new setup. So as a result of that, it is going to be a while before these guys are actually out. In fact, the game is calling for them to not have the first batch ready until 2173. And these have been going since sometime earlier this year of 2166. So, yeah, they are pretty far out there, all things considered. And there's really nothing I can do to speed those up outside of research to improve our build points, or to increase our build points for ground unit construction. Obviously, I can get rid of this queue by building more of the, the ground combat construction complexes? Yeah, ground force construction complexes. I could build more of these that allow me to queue up more and have more being built in parallel, but it doesn't speed up the actual building of the individual units. It's literally just another factory that can speed up by adding another line to the queue. So we still got to wait a bit longer. But eventually, we'll be good to go. Carrier Strike Group 1 has arrived and apparently completed their orders. Is that true? Yes, they have all of their missiles ready to go again. Wonderful. How many missiles do I have left? Particularly of the size 8s. 400, which is not enough for even a single one. So, yeah. The coilers are going to have to wait. But theoretically, we could go out. We could theoretically send our guys out. They'd be able to probably mop it up, barring the question of should we go into gun range? Because the issue is we don't know what kind of range their STOs have. But once I've destroyed the big ships, yeah, I could go into gun range and see if we get shot at by the STOs, then we pull back and probably tell the coilers to load up a bunch of the size 8s. The smaller, older size 8s, of course. And then launch those from a distance at the STOs. It will completely devastate the planet's environment, but we could survive, theoretically. It's not going to be the prettiest invasion if we have to go that route, so I am hopeful that we outrange their STOs. But yeah, I think we can go ahead and, well, let's let the deployment clock go down a bit. It's not like they're going to be building much of anything, as far as we can tell. They don't really seem to build much. Either their economy is in shambles, because from what I've seen people post in the past, it kind of seems like the AI does not do the greatest job at managing its economy. Like, it does even worse than we do, resulting in just basically not being able to actually do any sort of expansion. Your major threats in this game aren't actually the NPRs, it's the spoiler races. Realistically, the spoiler races are the ones that are actually a threat. Everybody else doesn't really matter. Okay, let's head out to Omega Ceti, go to the jump point. Again, do not move through the jump point at the same time. You move through it at a separate instance. Okay, we have found another jump point here in 55 Butis, which is not surprising. I'd be shocked if there wasn't at least one more than the one that we have to use to actually enter the system. And we found another one already. Oh, I don't even know if there's any... Well, I think we've already surveyed all the planets there. By planets, I mean the one planet. But are there any survey sites there? No, okay. Oh, salvage fleet arrived. You should have some salvage now, then. Oh, also, let's turn Rex back on. For now. Earth. Unload all ship components. Unload all minerals. What do I have? Not much, because I think where I sent you was, like, one thing. But hey, it's a little bit of extra minerals. Some of which will include galsite, or at least it should because of the ion drives. Oops. Accidentally clicked, and now Windows is complaining about, oh, this window's not responding. No, it's fine, Windows. It's fine. Just let it do its thing. Okay. Turn off the auto going. Go through, go to waypoint. I will never remember what waypoint it is. Waypoint 4. Okay, nothing there. We're turn off Rex again. The planet is up here. It's on the far side right now. Let's go to waypoint 6 in that case. Or actually, no, let's go to 5 and then we can move to 6 from there. I think Geo Virginis 2 doesn't have... What's your orbital period? 34 days. So, yeah. You know, we can go back and compare that to, like, Sol or Earth, you know. Orbital period of a year, so this goes around pretty freaking quickly. Should start picking them up on actives momentarily. Well, rather on passives, because the Renos are still there. Let's push forward to waypoint 6 and then 7. I want to maximize our salvo size, particularly because I really want to deal with those Renos if we can. I know we had the issue previously because the Renos are so damn small that we have a hard time being able to actually fire at them from a distance. And that's still very much true. But we have alternative options available to us to engage the Renos as well. Wonderful. Let's put it to there. Okie dokie. You guys, detach. You have a target. Your target is clear all target waypoint 8. Assign that to the fleet. Turn on your sync fire. And open fire fleet. The cruisers are going to proceed to engage the Ninjars. You will take 7. You will take 8. 10. 10. 11. Sync fire on, sync fire on, sync fire on. Well, you don't need sync fire, rather. Open fire all, assign to fleet. Pardon me. It's not really what I wanted to do, actually. Open fire all, open fire all, open fire all. Dokie. There we go. You guys, cease fire. Fleet movement orders land back on signed mothership/squadron. Cease fire. Cease fire. So you guys are supposed to be on. Why the hell did you turn it off? Never told you to turn it off. Okay, waypoint 8. Delete. They will continue flying towards the last known destination of their target. Since they have a sensor, as to my knowledge, you just need a sensor. It doesn't matter what type of sensor it is. It can be an active sensor like what we're using. It can be passives like thermal or EM. Generally, however, I want to say actives are probably the better option. Thermal and EM, not so much. They will then proceed to latch onto any new target they pick up. Instead, at least in theory, that's the way it's supposed to work. We'll see how well that actually holds true, however. And it would seem it did not hold true exactly. That or they somehow managed to fail to pick anything up, which I find kind of unlikely, so I don't think that's the case. I think they straight up failed to function the way they're supposed to. My understanding of the way that's supposed to work is you fire at a waypoint, delete the waypoint, they fly towards the last known destination. If they pick up an enemy on their way there, they automatically engage that new target. If they don't find anything on their way there, they fly there, they basically shut off. Or, well, not shut off, but they sort of do a holding pattern in a sense until they run out of fuel or they find a target to latch onto, in which case they then proceed to engage that target that they latched onto. These things are... So, particularly for the ones that we launch from the strike fighters, there's a reason that we use the AIM designation. It's to evoke the feeling of things like the Sidewinder and the Sparrow. You know, AIM 7s, AIM 9s, all those things. The biggest difference is just that we don't use passives in the case of, something like an AIM 7. Or am I mixing them up? I forget sometimes which one's which. Either way. But yeah, that didn't work like it was supposed to. That's the simplest way to describe it. It did not work like it was supposed to. Now we know, and we will not try to use it in that way, because that is the way it's supposed to work. At least to my understanding. But that's not the way it did. So we're just not going to bother. It's okay. We'll survive. We did fail to destroy any targets, unfortunately. And Earth is nowhere near having what I need. Now, theoretically, if at this point, as close as we're engaging them right now, I may actually say fuck it and tell the coilers to load up on the old missiles. In fact, you know what? I'm going to say that. Screw it. Load up on the old missiles. It's okay. We'll survive. Show obsolete missiles. Load up on the 846s. If you carry the 8100s, you're carrying the 846s. Tell them to load ordnance. Oops, apparently I forgot to tell you guys to not continue firing, but okay, that's my bad. Thought I deselected that, but apparently I did not. Okay, that is a destruction on the 7, 11, and 10. I'm going to be honest, I think at this point I just kind of want to close the distance and see. We're relatively fast. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to close in on the thing with the J name to 430,000 kilometers. Excuse me. 430,000. Unless I'm getting my numbers wrong. Excuse me. 410 actually is what I meant. Because we have 420,000. No, damn it. We have 1 hour until we are closed to that distance. Take those guys forever to load up. Biggest thing we're curious about is if they have any missiles to actually launch at us. Now, if they start firing at us, we will, back off outside of missiles. If they fire missiles, we will, probably keep closing unless we have issues. Actually, well, if they fire missiles, we'll probably hold where we are and try to, sort of drain all those missiles that they have. And then continue closing, once they run out of ammo, basically. But if they start firing us with like a particle beam or something, we will likely back off. Because that could hurt us. And we don't have much in the way of, gun firepower. Most of our firepower is in the form of the missiles. Okay, missiles detected. Missiles launched. You are not supposed to be on fleet sync fire. Seriously, why the fuck did you set everybody to fleet sync fire, game? I only wanted it on these guys. Okay, whatever. You, missile, salvo. I don't really care which one. Just engage. Sign to fleet open fire. Once you have either dealt with that one or it's been destroyed by the missiles, whichever happens first, you will stop. Or, well, not stop, but you will be able to just go and engage anything. There we go. Continue closing. God damn it, this is the annoying thing about these. This is the problem I have with, the only problem I really have with area defense. You need to have the fire control set to be actively firing for it to do it, which is annoying. I suppose in this case I can sort of trick it by... Nope. Well, help if I was actually on somebody. And sort of trick it by choosing a target that they definitely can't engage right now, but that should still allow me to do the full increments that I want for now. Okay, we picked up ground forces and the STOs. Again, question is what kind of range they got? Although they don't have much in the way of STOs, it's only 1,600 tons. As a reminder, our STO formation has a weight of, or excuse me, a size, which is, you know, same difference, of almost 15,000. So they're not going to have a particularly enjoyable experience if they actually attempt to engage us. Bunch of size 1 missiles fired. Fairly small salvos, but enough to potentially overwhelm our anti-missile missiles. But also what we're going to do at this point is stop moving forward. In fact, if anything, I think I might slightly pull back to give us a bit more distance to engage. Let's see, attacked by missiles. Yeah, we got hit by some shield hits. We're okay. It's also kind of the reason why we have shields. Don't know if I ended up outside their range now for those missiles or if they just ran out. But let's give our guys some time to get their shields recovered, because, yeah. That kind of hurt a little. Okay. I think I might actually be outside the range of their size 1s, which aren't the worst things ever. If this is outside the range, we can literally close, wait for them to fire, fall back, wait for them to fire, fall back, rinse and repeat until they run out of ammo. That is an option. Damn it. Keep forgetting sometimes to actually click follow first. But it's also possible they ran out of missiles. They don't have nearly as many ships as they did before. Okay, they fired again. Pull back. Waypoint 8. Also update you. Fire on that missile salvo, assigned to fleet. Theoretically, you should also actually be on a... Oops, wrong one. You. Okay, you are actually on final defensive fire. Never mind. They hit us. A bit of damage to the Amsterdam, but nothing too significant. Now we're basically just going to try to drain them dry of missiles. I have no clue how many they have, but eventually they're going to run out. Bit more damage to the shields on the Amsterdam and the Amsterdam 2. How are our coilers doing? Still 20 years out from being loaded up. Oh, you actually need to replace yours as well, actually. Replace and then load ordnance. Theoretically, I guess we could sit right back here. But no, I don't think that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep pushing. You going to fire? There we go. Okay. One thing I'm going to do here is... set a waypoint for that. And I think what we're going to do is actually just kind of go back and forth between those two waypoints. These salvos seem a bit smaller. Seeing lots of 1, 2s, and 3s, not very many, like, 5s as when they first launched them. Okay, move to missile fired, and then move to back to waypoint 8. I wonder if that waypoint might actually be slightly too far away for them to trigger and fire. Yes, I think it is. Realistically, I should probably actually set it slightly ahead of where they're firing. So as to, ensure that when I tell my guys to fly there and then turn around and fly back, that by the time they actually reach the point, they have been fired upon. But whatever, I don't really care enough. God, they really hate the Amsterdam, apparently. I don't know what the Amsterdam ever did to them, but apparently it pissed them off because the missiles seem to be fired specifically at the Amsterdam. And rinse and repeat. Eventually they will run out of ammo. Granted, technically so will we at some point. It's just a question of who runs out of ammo first. And considering that our missiles are smaller, right? God, what size missiles are they firing? I didn't really pay too much attention, I'll admit. Oh no, they're size 1, same as us. They're also pretty fucking quick, Jesus. 1 second, I need to relook at my design for this thing. Well, granted, I have it set to maximize accuracy, so they have a 100% hit chance out to 43. So they're not that great firing on these tiny size ones that have a almost 70,000 kilometer speed. But you know what? They are sufficient at the end of the day for my needs, so that's okay. Also, technically what I'm looking at is the replacement, so take some of the numbers I just provided with a grain of salt. Okay. We are getting very low on ammo. We're down to 36%. We may have to pull back and wait for the Quailers. Although with some of these MSPs, I'd probably actually say let's head back to Earth. Unfortunately. Didn't get as much damage done as I would have liked this campaign. Also, I forgot to hand out medals for the last one. But we can eke out a couple more runs just to see. What are we looking at in terms of shields? Ooh, the Amsterdam's down to 40. May want to actually give it an opportunity to relax. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to give it an opportunity to relax for a bit. Another 2-minute increment. 30 seconds. 5, 5. There we go. Okay, you're gonna... God, those things take forever. I don't know if you can speed that up with more ordnance transfer stations on the planet or not. I'm going to say let's build more ordnance factories, speed this production up as well. Theoretically, I could launch the last of these missiles out at them and just as a, you know, a final farewell type thing before we piss off. And I'm slightly inclined to do that, all things considered. Yeah, fuck it. Launch these at the Renos. As a final farewell before we piss off back to Earth. Aha, we actually managed to land a couple of hits. Oh shit, did we actually get a kill? Oh shit, we did. We actually managed to destroy one. We destroyed the Reno 09. I think? No, excuse me, the 10, rather. Yeah, I know. Tons of out of ammo. And for whatever reason, the out of ammo thing shows up for every single individual tube, which is just like the dumbest thing ever, in my opinion. Like, the way I'd probably do that is to just tell me that, you know, X tubes were not capable of firing due to no ammo or, you know, whatever. So, okay. We are all out of ammo. We did manage to destroy one Reno, though, so that's a nice big middle finger to them. Well, actually, we have a little bit of ammo left on the Alcridy, or however the hell it's pronounced. I think these are French, if I recall correctly, I think. No, I think these might be British, actually. Whatever. We got a little bit of ammo left on you, but I don't think it's enough to really bother. It's, yeah, 17. That's not even really fucking worth it, to be honest. So, let's head back to Earth, refuel, resupply, load ordnance. Also, let's go ahead and hand out the medals. What are we on now? Like 5? I don't know. Let me find the person in charge of the First Fleet. Rear Admiral Upper Helen. What are we on now? Apparently you're only on the first, which is not helpful information. So who's in charge of the fleet? Lower half. Tadashi. You got a medal for the 4th, so that last one was presumably the 5th. Presumably. There you go. You get a 5th one. And of course, because it's the same exact type of metal, it just actually replaces it entirely when it comes to the tooltip here. But technically, you have both. You technically got both, and you technically get the promotion score for having both. But yeah. Okay. We're leaving you guys. We'll be back. It looks like we can actually probably rely on our anti-missile missiles to finish off the Renos. I mean, theoretically, I could have launched salvos from these strike fighters, but I don't think they would have really done a whole hell of a lot, all things considered. So we'll be nice. We'll just leave. Enjoy. You found 3 jump points in a 3-day increment. Really? Okay, sure. I totally believe that because the game generally, or excuse me, in a 3-hour increment. Because generally the game always pauses whenever you discover one. So I find it highly unlikely that you managed to actually find 3 in 3 hours. Oh, whoops. Next time the game pauses, need to turn off showing active sensors and weapon ranges because I don't need to see those right now. Okay, the Coilers have finally managed to load up the ordnance that they are supposed to be carrying, which are, you know, more size 4s for the strike fighters, but we haven't really used them too much because their salvo size is just a tad bit too small. That's really the issue. Their salvo size is a tad bit too small for the current type of engagement we need to deal with. They'd probably be okay dealing with the STOs, potentially. I just need to deal with the ships in orbit first. Their salvo sizes would probably be okay, and not completely destroy the planet? Maybe? Question is, are you guys actually fully loaded? You are. Damn, I'm surprised. Wonderful. We now also have more ordnance production at 27,188 build points. Although that looks like it's because of rounding. It's technically 27,187.5. Either way, this speeds up getting the size 8 missiles that we currently actually field a bit faster. Also, that previous medal that you guys all got, that was the old one. You know, for the last campaign that I kind of sort of, again, forgot to hand out because that's just, you know, something I forget to do. Let's do a mentioned in dispatch for this one. Bunch of people get medals. Let's fly back to Omega City with the Coilers this time as well. The Coilers don't get medals. It should be noted. They don't need it. It literally does them no good. Although it looks like we probably won't end up actually attacking until next time, because I got about 4 minutes left of my timer. Wait for the actual combat ships to arrive, of course. There we go. Fly through, go to waypoint 4, because I actually remembered what it is this time. Okay, not here. Where's the planet in relation to our waypoints? They are much closer to 7. So we go to 6. Coilers are going to fly to waypoint 3. Also, I apparently have a waypoint here. Oh yeah, no, never mind. I remember why I have that waypoint. It's not exactly necessary anymore though, because the enemy is clearly not coming through, but I'll leave it for now until we know we've secured this system. Finally. Pardon me. Hopefully this time we're a bit more successful at wrapping them up. Because I don't know who it is that's actually firing the missiles. That's the sort of minor annoyance, is how I would describe it personally. But once we deal with those, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not the Renos. They're a little too light to be firing any particularly large salvos. Like, they'd be firing like a single missile at best. Even of a size 1, they'd be firing like at best a size 1. And like only one missile. So I really don't think it's those guys. I really don't. So I'm more inclined to believe that it is whatever the hell this is with the C, whatever the hell it is, this is with the J and the Ninjars. I think we actually have intel on the Ninjars, if I recall correctly, right? Yes, those have 43 size 1 launchers, so it's probably the Ninjars that are firing most of it, actually. So change of plans. You engage Ninjar 8. You engage 12. 13. 14. Yeah. You engage 13, you engage 14. Fire. Open fire. Why do you claim that you can't fire on Ninjar 13? Oh, because you don't have your missiles assigned. That's the problem. There we go. Fixed it. Fixed it. That was my fault. Okay, that's my timer going off. Let's go ahead and just end this part here. Next part we'll open up with missile salvo. Quick reminder, if you want to stay up to date with the channel, my go-to place for posting updates is my Discord server. There's a link to that down below in the description. If you want to support the channel financially, the major ways to do that are Patreon and Streamlabs. Links to those as well down in the description. I will see you all next time, where we will... I know I said it with the last one that I was hopeful that that would be the last campaign, but again, I am hopeful that this will be the last campaign. I am legitimately hopeful. The big thing is I think we need to deal with the Ninjars. I'm pretty sure those are the main things firing missiles back at us when we attempt to close. Or, well, rather, not necessarily firing missiles back at us, but the things that are firing missiles at us when we attempt to close. So if we can deal with those, we can probably close into gun range and finish them off, assuming that the STOs don't have sufficient range. That's going to be the big question, is what kind of range they have on the STOs. But either way, once we dealt with the Ninjars, we can get much closer, even then. But I will see you all next time. Until then, goodbye. Glory to the Republic.